We have often asserted, and we affirm it yet again, that no fact in history is better attested than the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. It must not be denied by any who are willing to pay the slightest respect to the testimony of their fellow men, that Jesus, who died upon the cross and was buried in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, did literally rise again from the dead.
This is a celebration. We're calling out to every nation to spread the word that Jesus is alive. We're people of His kingdom. His resurrection is our freedom for every heart, every tongue, and every tribe. We will dance with the one that shines brighter than the sun. We lift our eyes up and rise up. We will rise up. He's alive inside us, and we will rise up. We claim the victory He won on Calvary. Celebrate the King of glory. So rise up, people of the Lord, rise up. We're filled with holy fire. Lifting His name is our desire. And this we know, His Spirit is in this place. Let nothing stand between us. We carry the love that has redeemed us. He is life abundantly given to us in grace. We will dance for the one who shines brighter than the sun. Lift your eyes up and rise up. We will rise up. He's alive inside us.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to War Eagle Stadium. This afternoon, as we have another exciting afternoon of baseball coming to you live from War Eagle Stadium, where the Mustangs from Mount Vernon Christian School is here to take on your War Eagles from Landmark. As we are going through the warm-ups here and getting things lined up, you're going to be running with me here as I go through and introduce the starting lineup for the War Eagles. Starting lineup, defensive setup for the War Eagles this afternoon. Starting at first base, number 22, Nolan Bryant. Starting at second base, number 5, Josh Nobles. I said second base. Starting at shortstop, number 24, Ethan Sewell. Starting at third base, number 27, Ben Baggett. Starting in left field, number 25, Will Walters. In center field, number 1, Jordan Wren. Starting in right field, number 8, Reed Kemp. Starting behind the plate, the catcher, number 10, Seth Young. And on the mound, the starting pitcher, number 2, Austin Brown. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with you live this afternoon with my tag team partner, Mr. Derek Nobles. How you doing today, Derek?
I'm doing well. It's good to be here.
Exactly.
Good to see you.
It's the first time I almost forgot what a baseball game looked like. It's been a while since we've been here.
I got lost coming to the field today. A little turned around. But it's a beautiful day, let me tell you. It's just gorgeous. It's 65 degrees here.
Leading off the game for the Mustangs.
A lot better since we had the storms come through last night that got rid of all that pollen. Joshua's car was just yellow instead of blue.
Was it? Yeah, we had that, and then we had the then of course we had the gully washer last night that cleaned up the air for a bunch. So if you're out there in the cyber world this afternoon listening to us, give us a call or a text at 770-318-5364. We'd love to hear from you this afternoon. Let us know that you're out there listening to us as we have a game this afternoon against Mount Vernon, and we'll have a game tomorrow here at home as well against Padilla at 1 o'clock.
2 in a row.
Yep. First bounce to shortstop. Ethan Sewell eats it for a base hit. As that'll go down as I'm not sure. That's a borderline call there. Well, I'll let Derek be the judgment and call on it.
Well,
so.
I have been accused of little home cooking here.
I'm with
you. I won't give Ethan the air, seeing as how that's the first game, the first one first ball he's fielded this year. As number 3,
Ken Brunson
steps in.
Austin Brown is junior. Doesn't throw the ball overly. It's not a power pitcher. Throws some off-speed stuff. His fastball is medium range at best. So
I think Coach has him in for consistency around the strike zone.
Yeah, right now today, and nothing against the school that we're playing, but from all the reports and stuff that I've read, Mount Vernon's not exactly. They've been struggling. They've been kind of a down year for them so far up to this point.
Yeah,
so
I think they're rebuilding this year.
Right. I think they had Seth had a little problem with his catching equipment, so had to make an adjustment there. I think swap his helmet out so he comes back in. So top of the first inning here at War Eagle Stadium. Runner at first, Austin Brown on the mound. Number 2 batter for Mount Vernon in. First pitch to him. A little up in the zone, be a ball. So we've had a little bit of a change up in the lineup for us on defensively with Ethan playing shortstop today and moving Josh over to second, giving a little bit of a different look just to see how things go. That may be ball gets away from the catcher as the runner cruises into second base. But I think they're just trying to get a little different look just to see what's up.
Shake things up a little, see if we can keep the spark going. We did win the first game back from spring break.
Right.
Which is always appreciated.
Next pitch is inside, runs the count, 3 balls, no strikes.
You know, the War Eagles had a tradition of losing that first game coming back from spring break, so we broke that.
I'd rather not think about that. Austin's going to have to stay around the strike zone today, or else his afternoon will not be a very long one.
Yeah,
as he comes in and gets a strike there and makes the count 3-1.
Yeah, it looks like the umpire has a pretty generous strike zone, so hopefully that'll work to his advantage.
Swung on and missed, runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second. A beautiful afternoon, not a cloud in the sky after what was borderline what some folks were saying. It didn't really get that bad at our place.
No.
Just wind blew and rained pretty hard.
Yep. Same down at our place. As takes first base on ball 4 call.
Next pitch was a ball. Let's see.
But I did watch the weather reports last night, and it looked pretty scary in some areas. And our heart and prayers go out to those folks that lost property and had issues because of the storm.
Right. I think Floyd County, they said, got hit the worst, which is up around the Rome area.
Okay.
Brooks is just wanting to make sure that Shorter didn't get blown off the map. As they tried to throw down to second, sort of letting the play progress there before anything else occurred. As the ball bounced away from the catcher, the runner on second got off the bag a little bit more. Seth tried to throw behind the runner. Unfortunately, they advanced. Unfortunately, the runner advanced, threw behind him. The runner went ahead and broke to third. By the time the ball got to second, it was too late. Was unable to make a play at third. So now we have runners at first and third. So as we are going with the so trying to set things up, Coach Williams calls time to come out and speak with the guys just for a second. I'm sure it was words of encouragement of some degree.
Well, it still is since he's still out there.
Right. I believe he is.
And you can tell how encouraging he really is. Is he very animated up there at the mound.
So now we'll reset the tone. No balls, 1 strike. Nope.
Runners at the corners.
Nobody out. Runners at first and third. The number 3 hitter up to bat. Austin comes from the stretch. First pitch, runner goes, and Ethan throws the ball across the diamond, not in time to get the runner, and the run scores. So Mount Vernon works the hit and run to perfection on the first pitch, and with Hunter Whitney coming to bat.
Well, it must have been he must have really beat it out because Coach Williams has not budged from the dugout there.
Yeah, he didn't come out there. It was a bang-bang play there. Yeah, he moved, hit up the middle, 1 hopper to the pitcher as he throws down to second to get 1 out at second. To get the force there, gets us back to 1 out. Runners back on the corners as they made the defensive swap, moving Ethan to second, moving Josh back to short. Give us a minute. We'll get caught up with everybody.
Yeah.
Now batting the shortstop, number 9, Mikey Schmidt.
Well, like Mike said, Coach Phil is trying to shake things up, see what works, and he went back to something he knew worked.
First pitch is a strike right down the middle from Austin.
To Mikey Schmidt.
Mikey Schmidt. Wonder if the mom and dad's a Phillies fan. Ball gets away from him, back to the backstop. Seth, he's safe. Slides in under the tag.
I think he's going to make another change.
Yep.
He is going to change Ethan, move him back to the catcher spot.
Looks like Ethan's going to go back behind the plate. I guess Seth is going to go back to second.
So you got to give Coach Phil credit. I mean, he's willing to shake things up, but when they don't work, he's not ashamed to put the hook out there.
In a hurry.
Right the ship. So.
Exactly. So, anyway, kind of set the tone here. What we got is we've got a little change up of some things. Hang on 1 second. Let me come up with something here.
While we're waiting, like Mike said, the War Eagles play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That game will be televised, and we're playing our rivals over at Padilla, I believe. It's
televised. Oh, we're doing us streaming.
We're streaming. Well,
okay.
You got a computer.
Well, we're internet, so we are streaming. Our video is live, so I'm thinking we got ESPN coming.
And then we play on Tuesday. That game will not be streamed. We're playing at Strong Rock.
Okay.
That's away. And then on Wednesday, we have a day off. And Thursday, I think we have a day off as well. And then Friday, we play Elka at Elka.
Well, that game won't be streamed either.
That game will not be streamed.
Yeah, we're pretty much streaming the home games. That's pretty much it, as we have the call-in version of our show.
There we go.
Hello.
As number 9 for team, forgot who we were playing for a second here. For Mount Vernon steps in, the Mustangs. Strike 2.
I appreciate it, sir. Thanks for calling in.
So they moved Ethan back behind the plate. Seth resumed his opening day spot at second base.
As we got our call-in center of the show with Mr. Baggett calling in, the Kentucky phone number from Arizona, as they are hanging out. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're segueing or
well, they're enjoying life in Arizona.
Doing yoga out in the heat or something, I'm sure. Next pitch, swung on and missed for the strikeout. As we got 2 outs now. Runners at second with a score 2-0. Number 16, Ian Hughes, the first baseman, now up to bat.
Ian Hughes, a big left-hander there, steps in.
Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Ian Hughes.
Austin delivers a first call ball on the outside.
Just watching some of the guys go through their motion stuff with Mount Vernon. They are not, you can tell they're a young team, I'd have to imagine, going through the motions here.
Yeah.
And Austin needs to bear down and give this an opportunity for himself to.
You know, the thing you don't want to happen is that when you play a team that you believe you can beat, you don't want to take them too lightly.
Yeah, you don't want to play to your competition. As Ethan calls time and goes out and speaks to Austin for just a moment. So, again, we'll be home tomorrow. We'll be streaming again tomorrow against Padilla. So, but I hope everyone, since I haven't had an opportunity to speak to too many folks, but hope that they had a good Easter and spring break. I think everybody survived, which is another good thing. So,
it's always a good thing, especially when you're driving around the Atlanta freeway, as my wife calls the Atlanta 285 Speedway.
Exactly. Popped up to the first baseman, Nolan Bryant, for the easy out for out number 3. So, without a couple of errors, that pass balls that were made by Landmark's defense allowed 2 runs to score. So as we go into the bottom of the first, Landmark is behind the 8 ball already, 2-0. Hopefully we can get our bats out here and get things going with with what's fixing to go on here with the Mustangs. I had an opportunity to watch Mr. Knapp, Corey Knapp, the pitcher for the Mustangs, warm up down in the bullpen, and not exactly a fireball thrower. So don't exactly know what that could constitute or not, but nonetheless, it could be interesting.
Well, it'd be a good test for the War Eagles. You know, they've seen some flamethrowers earlier, and get a little bit of consistency here from a more moderate style pitcher.
Right.
As Coach Phil has them warming up a little bit.
I'm sure they didn't. They must not have stretched enough before the game started. Defensive setup for the Mustangs, starting at first base, number 16, Ian Hughes.
But the good news is Brooks did not bring up the rear there. I'm glad to see Brooks hustling.
Shortstop, number 9, Mikey Schmidt. Starting at third base, number 3.
As Coach Adrian Williams takes his normal spot over behind first base as the first base coach. Coach Phil comes out to third base. Looks like the umpires are not going to require the coaches to wear helmets. It always kind of baffles me exactly what the criteria is and when they are supposed to wear helmets and when they aren't. So I thought that was a Georgia high school rule, but evidently it either is not or it's loosely enforced at best.
It may be one of those. It depends on if everybody. It may be a coach's agreement at the coaches meeting before the game starts. Or that's what we're going to go with anyway. As Josh Nobles will be leading things off today for the War Eagles.
Well, the one good thing we don't have to worry about when we're watching high school ball is anybody charging the mound, Mike.
That was ugly last night.
That was so stupid.
And then he got a broke collarbone.
Right.
So, go figure.
I always wonder why pitchers don't drop kick the the batter coming after them.
Look out.
You would think that would deter a lot of them from running out after them.
Exactly. Leading off the game for the War Eagles, the shortstop, number 5, Josh Nobles. Get things started off here.
So as Noble steps in to lead off, looks like is that Will Walters?
No, that'd be Nolan.
No, Nolan is second.
First pitch bounced up the middle for a base hit for Josh. So, not a bad way to start the game. Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Nolan Bryant. Nolan Bryant steps in. So we got runners at first. Leadoff runner at first. Nobody out. First pitch he saw, bounced it back up the middle. Have to excuse me. I'm dealing with the little pollen sinus stuff. I guess it's a sign of old age because I've never had problems before. Josh is off on the races of the first pitch. Upstanding as the catcher had a little problem handling the ball there.
Did the umpire call that a strike or did he call it a ball?
I think it was a ball.
Couldn't tell. Nolan's on a hot streak. He hit a 2-run homer on the last game that put the War Eagles up 4-3.
Pop fly. No, it's dropped as the pop straight up. Not hit with a lot of velocity, but the wind held it up there. A left fielder come in, made a play. Nice diving attempt, but unfortunately was unable to come up with it. So now the runners are safe at second and third with Ethan Sewell coming up to bat.
Yeah, that was good hustle by Nolan. That ball was hit really high, and Nolan was on his horse getting to second base. A lot of times you see the batters just stop at first on something like that.
Ball's past the catcher as it bounces off the backstop, and Josh Nobles is coming in, and Josh is out. Josh delayed his reaction to coming into home. Tried to get around the tag. Unfortunately, was unsuccessful in doing so. As Josh tagged out going home, Nolan cruises on into third base. So we got one out. Runner at third. Ethan Sewell up to bat.
The good thing is Ethan still has a chance for an RBI since Nolan moves over to third.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike against Ethan.
Mike, I hear what you're saying about the pollen. I've been a little congested for the past few days too.
Whew.
Well, Tuesday, what is this? This Friday, Wednesday, the pollen count was 4,100. Yesterday, I heard it was 8,000.
Right. Then it rained, and then I think I don't know what it is today. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes against Ethan Sewell as we keep the umpire straight on the field. That just notified us on how much we need to ask him what the count's going to be the rest of the game. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The thing about some of these guys, whenever they see a pitcher that may not have the strongest velocity or the best control, they get all antsy wanting to try to just be all that and something else. So instead of just staying within themselves and getting a nice, good swing on it like Ethan just did right there to score the run and end up on first base. Now batting the center fielder.
As the center fielder, Jordan Wren steps in for the War Eagles.
1 out, 2-1 is the score as Landmark has cut the lead in half. And the nice pickoff play back to first.
Unsuccessful.
He'd have had an opportunity to catch me. That'd have been about it.
Well, Mike, it's a good thing that your eligibility has run out.
Yeah, I ran out of that a couple of weeks ago. Thank goodness. I had double-checked on that to make sure. I had thought about it much staging a comeback, but squares to bunt and pulls it back. Hey, the catcher throws the ball down to second base.
I think he threw that to shortstop, didn't he? I think Coach Phil has the green light on steals for the team here.
I think right now today is kind of one of those. There may be one or two, and one on the on-deck circle may be one of them that they probably won't give the green light for. Ethan breaks the third base as Jordan hits the ball down the first base line, about 2 feet foul. Didn't get good wood on that. The ball obviously did not sound solid coming off the bat off that swing, so I'm sure Jordan would welcome the opportunity to have that one back.
Absolutely. You know, maybe he's throwing a knuckleballer, Mike. Maybe that's it.
I'm sure that's not the case. There may just not be much difference between his fastball and his change. As Jordan digs in.
I was about to say digs a hole for him.
No, digs in is like a guy's throwing like Randy Johnson. And no, the frustrating part about it is you can't tell the kids to not play. You don't want to take advantage of a situation, and it's not like that we're blowing the team out, but you can see some of the stuff that's going on.
Right.
As the team that's struggling with it, obviously makes you that much more frustrated because you don't want anybody to take advantage of a situation. As Ethan Sewell rounds third coming home, Jordan breaks for second base as the ball rolls through the infield. Hey, drive it through the fence.
As Brooks Austin steps in for the War Eagles with a 2-2
number 11, Brooks
score. Brooks has a chance to get an RBI here as Jordan drops off something to Coach Will. I don't think it was Will card.
I think it was a shin guard. See what happens here. As Jordan's at second. Score is tied. He's breaking for third. Brooks squares to bunt. Catcher throws to third. Everybody's safe.
I wonder if
I could tell Brooks was really trying to sell the bunt as well.
He was trying to sell the bunt. I think he was a little surprised as the catcher came up to throw because he kind of stood there.
Ball low in the zone, 2-0. Nice pitch by the pitcher.
So I meant to ask you, how's Blake doing over in
He
Auburn?
is batting about 295 at Auburn. He, after this next pitch here, Brooks swings to put it out of the, but he hit it out of the infield into the outfield. Nice swing by Brooks to score the run.
As Ben Baggett comes up.
Now batting the third baseman, number 27, Ben Baggett.
With an RBI opportunity.
Who?
Ben? Well, okay.
He's got to hit it over the fence. But he does have an RBI opportunity. I'll give you that.
Well, what was the T-shirt Brooks was wearing when we were down at Ole Miss? Was it Super Fast? Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that. It was a misquoted comment. So, but yeah, Blake and him actually they played Alabama State the other night, and they'd given the night off as a rest. Toward the end of the game, they had put a new pitcher in there, and he's a little wild, so they put Blake in to catch the guy, and Blake ended up coming up the bottom of the ninth and hit the game-winning double to win the game for Auburn.
Oh, okay, good.
So, granted, they shouldn't have been in that situation, but nonetheless. Ball outside, runs the count 1-1 for Ben.
I didn't know Alabama State had a good a program.
They don't. That's the point. It is. They should have destroyed that team, but kind of one of those things where you play up to your competition. Ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike to Baggett. As I'm sure the fleet-footed base running speed of Landmark's base runners have got the pitcher a little off his game.
Well, and the threat of number 11 on first there going to second probably just has him so,
Ball is just a wee bit inside there.
I thought that almost hit him.
3 balls, 1 strike. I'm kind of digging the forearm pads the umpire's got.
You know, the umpire has got swag.
That is, yeah, I think those are bulletproof. Up in the zone for the walk as runners move up 90 feet. And Seth Young coming to the plate. Now batting number 10, Seth Young.
Yeah, Seth started out behind the plate and moved to second base in the top of the first inning. Here he is, a chance to
Redeem.
get some RBIs under his belt here.
Get him a good swing right here. Or take one off the noggin.
That ball had a little movement. I don't know if it was the pitch or the
Yeah,
wind.
I will say that I do give the pitcher credit on that. When I was saying him throw, he didn't have the most velocity, but some of his stuff did have a little natural movement on it.
And see, that's why I thought he was throwing a knuckleball.
Right. So we got 2 outs now with Reed Kemp coming to bat. Now batting number 8, Reed Kemp.
Okay. We've got pollen towels here. I thought Mike was sweating profusely, and
yeah, I'm nervous.
Chapman gave him something to help him out.
A sweat rag. Ball on the outside corner. First called on the outside corner for a strike.
You know, as beautiful as it is, the wind is blowing, and it's not as warm as you think it would be.
Right. I think there's actually a call on here. Then again, maybe not. Boop. As he boots it. As the catcher.
And Brooks tries to psych out the runner.
Two-hopper.
The fielder.
Two-hopper to the third baseman. Brooks stops to try to deke the third baseman a little bit, hoping he'd throw to first. But then he stopped and thought about it for just a second and then walked over and tagged third base for the third out. So at the end of one inning, the War Eagles are up 3-2. And this definite, obvious barn burner looks like it's starting to shape up for here.
Starting to shape up. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Mike is asking me about my shirt here. It's the Art of Exploitation. It was a cyber intelligence course I took. So I got a T-shirt.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got a polo shirt.
Oh, my shirt is the Art of Walmarting.
Yeah, and he's got a decal on there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's drool.
That's food. That's left over from lunch.
Hey, here you've been going to Gumbo's a lot for lunch.
Yes, I have, and it is a fine establishment.
Well, let me tell you, you need to call me next time because I need to meet you over there.
Yes, sir. How long will it take you to get there?
About 15 minutes.
Oh. Regardless of where you're at.
Regardless of where I am. May take me a little longer next week since I'll be in Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, we eat lunch there. Me and some friends of mine, we try to eat lunch there often, as possible anyway. As we go to the top of the second inning, Landmark's up 3-2. As Mount Vernon trying to get something going here in the second inning, as the catcher is going to be leading off. Leading off the inning for the Mustangs, the catcher, number 14, Johnny Stupik.
So Johnny Stupik, the catcher, leads off here.
I'm assuming that is his last name because I haven't got screamed at yet. So swung on and miss.
Good looking pitch
by Austin there.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed. Strike 2. As he comes in and gets set, and we have a new pitcher. It just dawned on me.
I was about to say, it looks like Connor, doesn't it?
That is, we have a different pitcher now. We don't, Austin Brown not pitching. We have a pitching change. That is Austin. Hold on, let me get this next batter.
Brown?
Now batting the center fielder, number 5, John Moore. Sorry. I'm retarded. Okay.
Yeah, it is Connor Stevenson. Connor's just coming off an injury, so I'm presuming Coach Phil thought it was a good idea to get him some work, get him ready for the playoff run that the War Eagles are hoping to make.
Yes. It's good to see him back on the mound.
Yeah.
Connor's a freshman? Sophomore.
Yes. Sophomore.
Okay. Next pitch from Connor. Down in the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Connor, I think he broke his bone in his ankle roller skating, and he's been rehabbing.
It was a non-baseball injury. We'll leave it at that. Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Jason Jones.
So Jason Jones steps in for the Mustangs. 1 out, 1 runner on in the top of the second inning.
Coming from the stretch. First pitch, little up and outside.
Well, Connor's going to have to get his mojo back.
Connor definitely needs to come in a little closer to the strike zone. Swung on and miss. Could not catch up to that pitch there. So we got 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first. Landmark leads 3-2 in the top of the second. Runner goes. Ethan comes up to throw. Could not handle the ball. So just went ahead and let it go. As well be credited with number 5, John Moore, will be credited with a stolen base.
Yeah, Connor was in the zone, but he forgot about the runner at first base.
Yeah, needs to do a little better job about keeping the runners close. So now he'll be a little more overboard about doing it. Ball up in the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch from Connor. Outside corner, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nice pitch by Connor.
Good clutch pitch there.
Mm-hmm.
As the War Eagles rally around their pitcher here.
Swung on and missed. Call strike 3. 2 outs. As the batter definitely wanted to have that swing back.
Yeah, he didn't want to, but
now batting number 1.
It was just too enticing for him. He could not lay off of it.
Tried to hold up, but was unable to keep the ball from going through the zone. As Corey Knapp's up for his second at bat for the day. As Connor throws a big loopy fast curveball that just keeps looping. Next pitch from Connor. Fouled off to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
As we look at the American flag out there, almost stationary, almost
strong wind going to right field. Gets the ball up in the air going that way. Connor definitely rearing back and letting it fly. Just needs to, I think, slow down a little bit and stay within himself and pick back up a little bit of his control. He may lose a couple of miles per hour, but he can get that back.
Yeah, well, he's got all that adrenaline built up from
right. Ball is hit foul to out of play.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the top of the second.
Runner at second.
It's a bunch of 2s in there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Next pitch from Connor. Runner leads from second. Foul back here to the backstop. Staying alive, still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, if you're out there in the cyber world and listening to the game or watching it, give us a call or text us at 770-318-5364. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know where you're texting from. Be sure to try to give you shout out as the ball is hit down the first base line. Lands fair. Nolan Bryant gave chase. Unfortunately, was unable to make the catch, as the runner scores from second. As we are back tied once again. Runner safe at first, so we've got 2 outs, top of the second. Score is tied 3-3 with Ken Brunson up to bat. Now batting number 3, Ken Brunson.
That was one of those seeing eye singles.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan made a good play on it, breaking back on it. Seth was also in pursuit. Throw down to second, and he's in just barely under the tag. Good throw by Ethan Sewell down to second base. Bang, bang play right there.
But he had too good of a jump.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he stole that on the pitcher as well. So, but again, the play before that, Nolan made a good break back on the play. Solid single into left field as Will Walters comes up quickly and gets the ball into the infield. Runners at first and third with Carson Mullen coming up to bat. Now batting number 25, Carson Mullen.
Well, this is a predicament that the War Eagles have been in time and time again. 2 outs and then allowing runs to score.
Having a little bit of trouble putting them away. Runners at first and third. Runner from first breaks. As he comes back, as the throw comes back home, and he is out. Nice little bang, bang play there.
Great play by Seth.
That a way to make things up and get it straightened out for everybody.
And that strands 2 runners on the bases, but it still ties the score is still tied 3-3.
3-3 as we go to the bottom of the second. As Ethan, runner from first, broke to second. Ethan throws down. The second baseman steps in front of the bag to intercept to come back home, and that's what that quick release, getting the ball back to home real quick, allowed Ethan time to make the tag. Good play by Ethan. If the throw was a little bit up the first base side, was able to get back over and make the tag.
And, you can tell that spring has sprung because you see some of the War Eagle faithful over there in the bleachers. I even saw Big Frank over there, Frank Wren Sr.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't see him there now. Looks like Will Walters is going to lead off the top of the bottom of the second inning for the War Eagles.
Looks like Will and then the top of the order.
Yep.
As Mr. Knapp makes his last few warm-up throws. Just got a text in from Rustburg, Virginia. Not sure who the person is, but we appreciate you texting in with us from Rustburg. Text us back. Let us know who you are, who you're affiliated with, if anybody, or if you're just a casual fan looking for a couple of play-by-play guys to come do the local slow pitch softball league for you.
Or Little League softball.
That's right. It's whatever. We're open.
As Will Walters steps in for the War Eagles, the left fielder.
For the War Eagles, number 25, Will Walters.
I went to the game on Sunday, and who did we run into but Will Walters, Ethan Sewell, Jordan Wren, and Nolan Bryant.
Or at the Braves game?
At the Braves game.
Uh-huh. Were they getting escorted out by security?
No, they were actually coming in. Now, they may have gotten escorted out later, but
I'm with you.
When I saw them.
Yeah, I'll give them boys credit. They have a good time wherever they go.
Yeah, they looked like they were having a ball.
Sometimes it scares me, but nonetheless. First pitch is a ball to Will. Next pitch swung on, foul. Hey, meet the ball out front. Drive the ball through the fence, Will. Let's go. Sorry.
Will, one of the 8 seniors on the team.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of them. Ball down in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, and I didn't really notice the home plate umpire with all the gear before you mentioned it, Mike. But yeah, he's padded up.
Yeah, sort of. 2 hopper to the second baseman. He picks up and tosses over to first base for out number 1. As Josh Nobles comes back up to bat.
Now batting number 5, Josh Nobles.
Will getting an opportunity to start today and trying to take advantage of the situation. Again, it kind of worries me with the way the pitcher and stuff's throwing, and some of the guys are staying focused and keeping their concentration and doing the things that they need to do, but some of the others are not keeping their focus. Ball bounces past the third baseman as Nobles rolls up to first for a base hit. As Nolan, which brings up Nolan Bryant next up to bat.
Now I'm going to have to ask my esteemed colleague how I should score that. I have to ask my esteemed colleague how I should score that. Would that be a hit or
E5?
E5?
Because he hit a glove on it. Josh will say it was a missile that nobody could have made a play on.
Well, what he would have said is that he wouldn't have been able to catch him.
Getting a little faster on the old pickoff there. Makes you kind of wonder, are they sandbagging? Wait till about the 4th inning, and all of a sudden they become
a little more competitive?
Yeah, they just start yanking everything over the fence.
He's going to spend most of his time trying to keep Nobles close there.
He's got 50 pitches to the plate, and he's got 48 to first.
A couple birds just flew in front of the batter.
As Josh takes off for second and standing.
You know, I don't think it matters because looking at the way the catcher threw down there, he would have been safe.
I thought he had an elbow problem at first. Next, 1 ball, no strikes to Noland. As we are joined in the press box
by a very special guest. Oh, come back, come back.
Special guest that will remain nameless.
Who we chased away.
So.
You can come back. I won't say nothing.
Nolan bounces one down to first base, flying foul. As everybody journeys back to their original position. Mount Vernon appears to be a very young team based upon most of the clientele. I don't have a thing here stating the grades that the kids are in, but from the way that the kids are carrying themselves and the way that they're setting up and playing, would be very surprised if they're not a very young team. Ball hit down the first baseline, foul once again.
I don't remember how we fared against them last year, what their team looked like last year, Mike. Do you recall?
Not sure.
Count still 1-2 to Nolan.
Attaboy. Nice swing right there as he drives one back up the middle. Josh rounds third, coming home.
And he'll score this time.
Nolan holds up at first, wisely, as Ethan Sewell comes up to bat.
Now batting number 24, Ethan Sewell.
As Ethan looks down the third base line to get his signals from Coach Williams. So we got a runner at first, 1 out. As Nolan takes off for second, had a little bit of a late jump getting there. As Coach Williams wants to call and talk to Nolan for just a second to ask him what in the heck was he doing. So Ethan knows that conversation had nothing to do with him, so he went ahead and come back to the batter's box. You back with us?
I'm back with us.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. As Nolan trots back to second base.
1 ball, 1.
Watching before going to the Lynchburg Hillcats game in the Carolina League. That's awesome. Still not sure who this is, but we appreciate you texting in. From the 434 area code.
434.
It's up in Virginia. They're going to watch they're going to watch the Lynchburg team in the Carolina League. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
I can't think of anybody who'd be up there, but let us know who you are.
Next pitch to Ethan. Check swing.
Unless this is our stealth watcher.
Yeah, exactly. Sports Center moment. Tiger Woods is 3 under at the Masters. He's 5 shots off the lead. No, 3 shots off the lead.
Was lead still 6 under?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Nolan gets his lead. Ball hit well into the gap. One hops it. Left fielder's unable to make the play as Ethan rounds first, heading to second. Nolan strolls in to score. Landmarks back, takes the lead back, or took the lead back early in the inning and extending the lead now to 5-3.
Now batting number 1, Jordan Wren.
As the center fielder, Jordan Wren, steps in to try to get another RBI opportunity as Coach Phil makes a substitution. I'm sorry, not a substitution. Courtesy runner for the catcher.
Yep.
Brandon Weil comes in to spell Ethan.
We just got a text from the Eastern Alabama region as my wife texts in from Auburn. Her and I'm assuming Mimi are watching the starting of the game as Jordan rips one down, one hopper, hard hit ball right at the first baseman. He stuck his glove out there and caught it and walked over and tagged first. Made it look routine. The ball was hit well. If he did that again, I'm not too sure the play would have been made the same.
It was a hard shot.
Yes, it was.
It was one of those plays, looky what I found. So Brooks steps in with 2 outs, runner at third with an RBI opportunity. I think the boys are thinking the ball's coming a little faster than it is, so they're late on it.
Well, and they're trying to be superhuman so they can tell their buddies that they went yickety and yak bombs and did all that mess.
So they're trying to improve their stats is what you're saying.
Right.
This is a stat game.
It's all about me.
Stat game.
So, next pitch to Brooks. He lifts one into center field, and it drops in for a base hit. Which, let's see, this is the second inning. It was a loopy single. By the end of the game, it will be a barn burner off the fence. So.
Now batting number 27, Ben Baggett.
I think what Mike is saying is Brooks may have a tendency to exaggerate, but I find that hard to believe, knowing Brooks the way I do.
Yeah, that's true. Ben Baggett steps up. So we go to a 6-3 lead.
Still 2 out.
Yep. What I was saying a while ago, my wife texting in. I'm sure her and Mimi are probably listening to the game because Blake and them play tonight at 7, and Doodad's been at the ball field since noon. Hit the ball to shortstop, and he gets the force at second for out number 3. So.
Well, Brooks tried to find that second gear.
Not without extra effort, but was unable to quite get there in time. So we will go to the top of the third.
With Landmark leading 6-3 over the Mustangs.
6-3 on 7 hits. Mount Vernon scored 3 runs on 2 hits. So, again, just a beautiful, beautiful afternoon.
Could be just a tad bit warmer if you ask me.
So, okay. So we just got another text in from the 678, but that's stating that they're at the game. So, as my niece and sister made an appearance this afternoon.
Okay.
Come to watch Brooks play. My niece plays soccer for the South Paulding Bears, I believe is the name of their mascot.
Okay. What year is she in?
She's a freshman, but is actually playing varsity soccer for the women at the school, so that's good for her.
It's very good.
As we are going to the top of the third inning, Landmark's up 6-3.
And just so you know, here at the War Eagle Sports Complex, there is a soccer game going on against Our Lady of Mercy right across the way from us.
Right, over at Garwood Stadium.
Yep,
so
right over at Garwood.
Once again, those of you that have not had the opportunity or have not been maybe to Landmark in a while, if you ever have the chance to come back, or whenever you do have the chance to come here next, you can. It is amazing some of the stuff that's been done in the last 12 to 18 months. So we certainly do appreciate all the work that's been done around here.
Yeah, I really do.
Just outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
As the wind kicks up a little bit.
Yep. Foul tip to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that is not Mike or I running a mile here. That's the wind blowing.
Yeah, exactly. I can assure you. The wind noise is not by movement of us.
But, you know, it's interesting. I laid my phone down, and I got a little thin layer of pollen across the top of it.
I got it on my laptop over here, too. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
As Connor's picking up the tempo here.
Pop fly, infield. Josh is underneath it at shortstop for the easy out.
You know, you got to give credit to the coach to keep the team motivated. This has been a tough season for Mount Vernon. They've lost some games by some pretty hefty runs.
They lost some key players, I think, from last year's team. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them. But, again, I think they're young and on the way back, so it's kind of one of those deals where, you know, kids need to look at and realize it's a little bit of a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Swung on and missed. Fly ball, center field. Jordan Wren unable to get there. Traps it. Knocks it down. Keeps the ball in front of him as it drops in for a single.
Now batting number 9, Mikey Schmidt.
As Mikey Schmidt comes up to bat. Could call him Michael.
Nah. I'm going off what's here. I'd hate for him to go off on me calling him Michael by a formal name. And that may be his legal name. I don't know. First pitch. Lifted into right field. Shallow right field. Reed Kemp comes in. Camps under it for out number 2. So, as Ian Hughes is now coming up to bat.
Now batting number 16, Ian Hughes.
So 2 outs, runner at first. Landmark up 6-3 in the top of the third. Ball bounces to the backstop. as we are in the top of the third. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second after the wild pitch gets to the backstop there.
And that's something you haven't been seeing a lot lately.
Outside corners for a strike.
Balls getting by Ethan.
Yeah, I think that was one of those. Instead of 60 foot 6 inches, he threw it 59.8, and it bounced past him.
Ethan was looking for 59.7.
Yep. Lazy swing, lifts it into center field. Jordan Wren in on the run to make this catch. Jordan's got good speed, can cover a lot of ground out there, so able to make it look a very simple play. So stranded 1 runner. Landmark still with a 6-3 lead as we go into the bottom of the third inning. So if anybody needs to take a restroom break or do whatever, now's your time while we're in between innings. But make sure you do come back before we get started with the bottom of the third. Landmark will be playing at home tomorrow against Padilla School at 1 o'clock. Next week's games, most of them are away. So we will not be streaming the away games next week. Depending on how things go, once the playoffs and stuff start, will determine on how we're going to work that schedule.
Yeah.
So, but again, Landmark trying to get themselves positioned as the playoffs and stuff are looming.
Yeah. So just so you know, on Tuesday we play Strong Rock at Strong Rock, which is in Locust Grove, and then we have Wednesday and Thursday off, and we resume play again on Friday, where we play at Elka.
As the sun is slowly starting to settle. Slowly starting to settle a little bit here where the sun is and the glare and stuff is starting to affect some of the guys on the field, depending on the positioning of the ball.
Yes, that time of year.
Yep.
Or that time of the day, I should say.
Yep. Seth Young will be leading off things for the War Eagles.
Seth Young, Reed Kemp, and then
the Wadster.
Will Walters.
Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, number 10, Seth Young.
As the War Eagle fans continue to trickle in.
Yep, no sense in getting here when you're supposed to. Just show up when you feel like it.
You can tell this is a pet peeve of Mike's.
Yeah. So, but either way, glad they're here. So glad you're all was able to make it here today.
And Seth waits for the second pitch here.
Bounce the ball up the middle, in for a base hit. Nice little piece of hitting by Seth Young. He rounds the bag and hustles back to the first.
Now batting number 8, Reed Kemp.
And Reed Kemp steps in.
As Reed's parents are outside the landmark sign in left center field.
Yeah, there they are.
Assuming the position of what used to be Pop's Pavilion.
I'm not sure how his mom can see over the fence, though.
Amy?
Yeah.
She was sitting in the back, but she's probably looking at a magazine or a catalog or shopping on Amazon. They call a balk.
Call a balk, yes. That
Runners
advances
get to
Seth.
advance. Puts a runner in scoring position for Reed. Single now can get a score run.
As he steps in and watches, gets the sign from Coach Williams before he steps in.
Pop fly, foul ball up to the left side. Pitcher did not come set long enough on the balk.
As Coach Field shouts words of encouragement. Coach Field keeps it pretty short, 3 basic words: hit the ball.
Yeah, or else. Ball outside. Good stop by the catcher. Keep the ball in front of him. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or 1 ball, 1 strike, excuse me.
Yep, 1-1. 6-3, War Eagles. Bottom of the third. No out. Runner at second.
Line drive doubles them off for the double play. Nice play by the second baseman. Nice heads-up play as Will Walters comes to bat.
Now batting number 25, Will Walters.
Tough luck there for Reed. Hit the ball on the button, but hit it right at the second baseman.
Right at the second baseman,
Yep.
yeah.
Seth kind of stuck in no man's land. Broke towards third, but I think even if he would have stayed at the close to the bag, it still may have been a close play because the second baseman was moving towards second base.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes to Will.
As that wind blowing from left to right. Will takes a good cut at one.
Front shoulder flying open, trying to yank it instead of keeping his front shoulder closed and driving through the ball. Next pitch, 1-1 count. Down in the zone, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And the catcher throws that ball up in the air at the pitcher. The pitcher squinting, has a little bit of trouble finding it given where the sun is this time of the day.
One hopper to the pitcher, throws it across for the out. So at the end of the 3 innings, War Eagles up 6-3. We're going to take a short break right here, and we'll be right back with you here in just a moment. As we are back with you live in the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th inning, as I picked up the mic and did the wrong thing like a goober. I was wondering why that echoed. Top of the 4th inning. I was going to announce the batter. Who is that? Number 14.
Batter number 14. You don't have a
Johnny
name for him?
Stupic. Yeah, I do.
Johnny Stupic,
The catcher.
the catcher.
I'll catch him in a minute. My voicemail. Try to change things up a little bit, keep it fresh.
3 balls.
3 balls, 1 strike. Yes, sir, to Mr. Stupic. Strike on the outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed for the strikeout. Ball out of the zone. Chased ball 4. But to no avail as they throw the ball around as we get ready for Mr. Moore to come to bat.
Now batting number 5, John Moore.
Thank you, though.
So John Moore steps in.
First pitch, up in the zone. Ball 1. Next pitch, down the zone, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody on, 1 out. That's fine. Next pitch. Outside, 3-0. Connor needs to buckle down just a little bit, bring the ball in back to the zone some. If he'll stay around the zone, they will have no trouble chasing it. So, see how it goes from there. 4 straight pitches, and he walks him.
Yeah, he walked him.
As Mr. Jones is coming up to bat.
Now batting number 13, Jason Jones.
Still 1 out in the top of the 4th.
You said you saw Big Frank, Mr. Big Frank and Little Frank's both in the stands today.
Yeah, I saw them both. The Braves, I didn't know they were 8-1.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Runner goes. Throw down to second is
Got
him in time. Nice throw by Ethan Sewell. Dead on the bag. Nice job by Ethan. Good throw. Bang, bang play right there. Plenty of time. Nice job right there. I enjoyed that.
Outstanding. As the batter takes the second ball up high. That's what you want to see. Good defense by the War Eagles. As Ethan comes out and talks to his young catcher. Young pitcher.
Puts his arm around him, a little consoling.
Can you feel the love?
Yeah, whatever. Please don't do that ever, ever, ever again.
What? You don't like that?
No, I don't.
It was better than singing Elvis' Hunk of Burning Love.
That's true. That is very true. I'll go with you there. So, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody on. Top of the 4th. Landmark sitting on a 6-3 lead. Next pitch from Connor right down the pipe. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good-looking pitch by Connor.
Down in the zone, right where you want it, if you're going to throw it that way. Help induce a ground ball. Ball out of the zone. Tries to muscle up a little bit too much instead of staying within himself. Go ahead. Ball inside. Nice pitch right there, close. Looked like it had black, but unfortunately the umpire didn't see it the same way, so he walks him. So now we got a runner at first with 2 outs.
Now batting number 1, Corey Knapp.
As Corey Knapp steps in for the Mustangs.
Nolan Bryant holding him close. Corey looks over his shoulder.
You know, if you're going to get a game for Connor to kind of warm up and rehab in, so to speak, this is the right game for him.
I agree. Not a lot of pressure. It's like a kid coming back at Auburn, Will Kendall, one of Blake's roommates that had Tommy John surgery last year. They set him up. He come in the very first of the season and threw like the 2 batters, and then it slowly but surely, and they're putting him under more and more pressure and extending his pitch counts and doing those type things. And had a good outing last week against A&M. So,
yeah, Coach Phil's going to come out and check on Connor. Like I said, this is his first time back. It looks like he's going to make a change. Is that
nice job. As Landmark is going to the bullpen as they make the change. They've got
Spencer Smith
on the mound. Let me get some.
So Spencer comes in with a great job of Connor did. Spencer comes in to relieve him. As we have a little break in the action.
Pitching change for the War Eagles. Now on the mound, number 23, Spencer Smith.
As the wind blows here at War Eagle Stadium.
It is blowing straight out now.
It is blowing. Yeah, look, you can't even see the flags behind the pole now.
The Braves have a series this weekend against the Nationals, right? Yeah.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, they're playing in Washington.
Okay. That should be a good game.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Bryce Harper's been on fire too.
This will kind of be a sign of how the Braves are early in the season, but it'll give them an opportunity to see where they measure up at this point.
Right.
Because right now everybody with Washington's healthy. That catcher who was so good last year at the very beginning of the season that got hurt, he's back and healthy. Worth's healthy. I think they moved Worth back to the leadoff.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, which moved everybody else down. So now Harper's moved from the 2-hole to the 3-hole. So all the way around.
And he's been on a tear. What's he batting now? 4 something?
I'm not sure. Yeah, he has been wearing it out.
His swing though is just vicious.
Well, they were talking earlier today. I was listening to a radio call-in show that Domino and Chipper Jones was running. They were talking about how just like Justin Upton's just hitting bombs in batting practice. They said just the way the ball comes off the bat, just two completely different sounds. Of course, they said that same thing about Chipper. So
yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike. He swings at ball 4, runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I tell you, that's what you want. You want to bring in your reliever to come in and throw strikes, and that's exactly what Spencer's done. Thrown 2 quick strikes. Got the batter at full count going on him.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive up the middle for a base hit. Runner round second, but hustles back as Josh Nobles cuts the ball off. With Ken Brunson coming up to bat.
Now batting number 3, Ken Brunson.
Once again, the Warriors find themselves with 2 outs in the inning with runner in scoring position.
First pitch, foul straight back. We have an update from the Masters. Leaderboard at the Masters, Tiger Woods, Mark Leishman, and Fred Couples are all at 5 under.
Really? Is that so? They're tied for.
That's what it looks like from there. I just got the groundskeeper that lives on site, like Bill Murray and the Caddyshack.
Yeah.
That's just who texted me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It's a Cinderella story.
I don't. You need to get that song. You have that?
Yeah. Ball's hit to the third base as Ben Baggett rolls over and tags the bag for the out.
And that's what we want to see. So they don't score in this inning. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning, with the War Eagles still clinging to a 6-3 lead with a chance to add to their lead.
We need to add about 8 or 10 more and in this, make this an easy Friday evening.
Yeah.
I have a dog at home going through withdrawal.
And why is your dog going through withdrawal?
He's just because he's a brat. As we are going to the bottom of the 4th inning, the War Eagles are up 6-3. Line scores are Landmark's got 6 runs off 8 hits, no errors, although that's subject to discussion. Mount Vernon's got 3 runs off 4 hits and no errors. Once again, today is an error-free Friday.
Did you get the memo?
On the scoring. Apparently I missed that memo, but I'm not on the email list, so I don't get told nothing. They just let me know stuff whenever they want. It's kind of like at home.
Well, that's why they do it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So.
They got the memo from Teresa.
Yeah.
You know, Mike jokes about it, but, you know, I know Mike is treated like a king at home. Teresa rubs his feet, cooks him dinner.
Sir.
No,
Pardon me while
she told me.
I go to the restroom and
she told
make
me.
myself sick.
She says you just
check
curl
out
up.
The shoes. You got one of the kids on the Mount Vernon team has got on his bright red high tops, spikes even.
Oh, is that what that is?
What?
say that.
So. And Nobles dropped down a pretty nice butt.
We've had the music Nazis come up in the press box.
Now batting number 22, Nolan Bryant.
Okay. Well, we know what song we're going to play next inning.
You better play Amazing Grace next inning.
Oh, me.
Well, Mike, here's the good news. This is your last year.
That's true. More ways than one, apparently. Josh Nobles breaks for second. Throw goes down as Josh is in standing. I'm going to turn it over to you for just a second, Derek.
Okay, no problem. So Nobles gets down on the stolen base as Nolan Bryant steps in with a 1-ball count to him. And the pitcher takes a step off. I don't know if he fell off or lost his balance, or if he – technically, I got to ask Mike, if he loses his balance, is that considered a balk? As Nolan rips one to right field. Nobles has the hold at third. That's the 10th hit for the War Eagles as Ethan Sewell, the catcher, steps in.
Now batting number 24, Ethan Sewell.
So Ethan comes in with a chance to add to his RBI total here with runners at first and third, nobody out. As the Mustang pitcher looks into the dugout for the signals. The catcher steps out, clears up any confusion by giving the signals, and then steps back behind the plate. On the steal.
That looked almost acrobatic.
Steal by Nolan. The second baseman came up thinking Nobles was going to break home, and he didn't.
And something tells me the pitcher wasn't in on the play. Because he about ripped an oblique out trying to jump to catch the ball. Runner at second and third, nobody out. Ball foul straight back.
Ethan had RBI dreams running through his head just then.
Umpire's got on his blue blocker sunglasses from his Joe Namath infomercial.
Hopefully they're bifocals.
Pop straight up, left-hand side, and out of play.
Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ethan. As Coach Phil tells Ethan, you know, you're dipping your shoulder, swing level.
Screwing around.
As everybody gives Ethan instruction.
Fixing to come out of the ball is hit into the gap and rolls to the fence. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Ethan rounds second and gives it a look, but opts to stay at second. So they got a bunch of comedians chiming in and sending in text messages now. Everybody wants to be one. As Jordan Wren steps in.
Now batting number 1, Jordan Wren.
Getting some comic relief over there on the text.
Everybody wants to, yeah. Whatever. Dump the phone in the trash can when I leave the game today. Change my phone number. Foul ball back this way.
Jordan took a good cut, just got under it a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, he stepped and got out on that front foot a little bit and then was trying to didn't quite have us keep himself balanced very well. This guy, the pitcher, Mr. Knapp, does not have much velocity. So they need to stay back a little bit more on the. He swings and hits that one straight up. Foul ball. First baseman calls him off and makes the catch for the out. Nice play by the first baseman as Brooks Austin steps up.
Yeah, Jordan's a little disappointed with himself.
Now batting number 11, Brooks Austin.
As Brooks steps in.
With a RBI opportunity. Unless Ethan wants to stop at third.
Yeah, Ethan stop at third. That'll make them buddies.
Ethan breaks for third. Brooks gets out of the way while the catcher makes his throw down to third.
I think the umpire called that one a strike on Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ethan's showing his speed. Former cornerback safety for the football team.
Right. He's a good athlete all the way around. Next pitch to Brooks. Down the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. War Eagles up 8-3. Looking to expand on their lead a little bit more. Next pitch to Brooks. Brooks hits one down the third baseline, too hot to handle for the third baseman. The ball bounces away from him.
And Brooks has an opportunity to get a double. It's double.
Now takes up
get thrown out.
Opportunity.
Oh, he's safe. Oh, Brooksy is safe.
Oh, my.
I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Now batting number 27, Baggett.
You know, I wish we had instant replay for that one. Cause
oh, my stars. That is definite. I've never seen that. His rounding the bag took him into almost right center. Ben Baggett hits the ball up the middle. Center fielder's there to cut it off. Coach Williams is telling Brooks, don't even think about going any farther than third base. Nice swing by Baggett, putting the ball in play.
And if any of you go back and view this again, that was not in slow motion. That was natural speed.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that was all Brooks. Running on drag slicks with a clutch slipping and his transmission shot out. So, Seth Young coming up to bat.
Now batting number 10, Seth Young.
So if Teresa,
oh yeah, she's chimed in.
Doodaddy and Mimi are listening.
Yep.
Don't get mad at us. You had to be here. I had to see it to believe it.
Chaffin said that he actually sped the film up during the filming of that to make it look better. Seth takes a cut, pops up to left field, high pop fly. Left fielder is there underneath as Mitch tags in.
Oh.
Mitch Messer come in to run for Brooks, tags at third and scores.
That's good.
Now batting number 8, Reed Kemp.
Oh,
so I guess he substituted Mitch because he needed some speed on the base path, huh?
Ben steals second. Do what? It is. I'm getting told all kinds of things.
It's a good thing she doesn't have my cell phone number.
Yeah. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Landmark leading 10-3. Reed Kemp up to bat. Reed due for a big hit. Gets up underneath that one.
Out of play?
Yep.
So you got Reed, Will Walters,
And Josh.
and then Noble's coming up.
Yep. Runner at second.
Reed has an RBI opportunity here. 1 out. I'm sorry, 2 outs, 1 strike.
Reed reaches out there, fly easy, and it lands in fair territory.
And there is the RBI.
Ben scores. Reed could have stretched that into a double if he'd have been running the whole time. But we'll take it. Still scored RBI as Will Walters is coming up to bat.
Well, you know, that ball hit the grass and just stopped.
I think Coach Williams is taking the opportunity to do some exchanging on some players here and let some of these younger kids get an opportunity to play a little bit as Sylvester Toe comes in.
Yeah, I think that's good. Sylvester's a sophomore.
As Coach Williams wants to give Reed a few more words of wisdom.
I'm waiting on a congratulatory pat.
Yeah, I doubt that's going to occur. Sylvester Toe is in for Reed at first base, with Will Walters batting. Will swinging it. No balls, 1 strike to Will Walters. Swung on and miss. 0-2.
Will's trying to get an RBI the heroic way over the fence. Pitcher's thrown a lot of pitches this inning.
Yes, he has. Ball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good eye by Will. Will's got a great swing. Sometimes he has a tendency to want to fly open. If he keep his front shoulder closed a little bit more, if he drives through the ball, keeps his head on it, he could be a machine hitting the ball down the left field line.
I tell you, no matter how many times I see Will, I always think that bat is too small.
Yep. Strike 3 as he rings him up. As Will has a few words for him.
Yeah, Will's not happy about that.
No. Here we go.
As we go to the top of the 5th inning, as the DJ makes a sarcastic point.
This is for Coach Godby. That's right.
And the DJ gets rave reviews.
That's right.
From the audience.
Leading off the inning for Mount Vernon, number 25. He's not on the roster. He's not on here. Last name's Mullen. Oh, it is too. Carson Mullen.
1 pitch,
1 out. Nice on the pitch count there. Number 6.
Now batting number 6, Hunter Whitney.
Hunter Whitney steps in for the Mustangs. 1 out.
First pitch, a strike.
And he reached back and threw that one.
Let that one roll.
Oh, good curveball. Missed.
Nice pitch. Just missed a little bit down in the zone. Next pitch bounces to Hopper to third. Wild comes up, throws across the diamond for out number 2. Nice play by Brandon Wild. Had to sit back and wait on it. Couldn't quite charge it. He'd have caught him in an awkward position, so he had to take a step back and catch it off the bounce. So had to get rid of it in a hurry, but nice strong throw across the diamond for the out.
Now batting number 9, Mikey Schmidt.
Ball 1 to Mikey. One and one.
I do have that song. Bounces into left field for a base hit.
That's the 5th hit for the Mustangs.
Yep.
As number 16 comes up to bat.
Ian Hughes.
Ian Hughes, thank
Now
you.
batting number 16, Ian Hughes.
Once again, another hit with 2 outs. The War Eagles. Nice curveball delivered by Smith.
Like a swinging bunt.
The curveball really fooled him.
I guess so. Oh. Curveball, strike 2. That was a nice pitch.
Yeah.
Ball up in the zone a little bit. He chases it. Nice pitch there. Out pitch just a little bit off the plate.
He didn't chase that one.
No. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at first. Top of the 5th inning.
Ooh, that was close.
Nice
too.
pitch there, just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitchers, umpires been very consistent today, which has been very good. Swung on and missed for strike 3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. As War Eagles are still up 11 to 3.
11 to 3. 13 hits for the War Eagles. So the bats have been doing pretty well tonight.
Well, they are definitely sticking with their starter. I don't know if they don't have another pitcher or maybe they're saving somebody.
I don't know for what, though. You know, you got to. I wish I could. I need to bring my pitch counter because that kid has thrown a lot of pitches.
Mm-hmm. Well, to give Mount Vernon credit, they come out and battle every inning. Again, I feel quite confident. I would not be shocked if they did not have at least probably 3 or 4 kids, if not more, freshmen starting for them on the field. So.
No, I believe you. No, I'm with you there.
And if that's the case, then they're definitely a team that could be reckoned with over the next couple of years.
Right.
So. But I will say this too with the pitcher, even though he's thrown a lot of pitches, he hasn't thrown a lot of stuff. He hasn't tried to throw a lot of spinning stuff.
No.
He's more or less just tried to hit his spots and let the natural movement of his throws, so doesn't quite put as much stress and strain on his arm and on his shoulder and elbow.
Right.
So.
Which is fine. I mean, especially
right.
Playing teams like Landmark and the other teams in the region.
I know like whenever Ben's pitching, Baggett throws a lot of pitches, but he throws a lot of different types of pitches. But,
right.
But he's just a workhorse anyway, so that's why it's always fun to watch Ben pitch. Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, number 5, Josh Nobles.
We don't have a score from the soccer game over there.
No.
You try to get that. Where's the athletic diva?
I don't know where she's at. Badowski's down the first baseline. He's hanging out over in the woods.
Okay.
I think he's supposed to be the administrator in charge, but
Okay.
he's trying to stay out of the way so he didn't have to be in charge. Lined up the middle for a base hit. So that makes Josh 3. 3 for 4.
Yeah, since you count that one error, yeah, 3 for 4.
Now batting number 22, Nolan Bryant.
Depending on whose scorecard you want to look at will determine on where Josh is batting.
Yeah, he might say he was 4 for 4 because he'll tell me that guy never would have been able to throw him out even if he had fielded it cleanly.
Josh goes on the first pitch, is in standing at second base. Just got a text in from the Masters. Tiger Woods just hit the flag stick and bounced off, spun into the water at 8-man corner.
Oh, hit the flag stick and bounced off in the water. That'll mess up your day.
Yeah. But hit the flag stick.
Yeah.
Reminds me of myself on a putt-putt golf course. Sometimes.
Hopefully, well, the only good thing is if he hit it on his first shot.
Right. I'm not sure how far. I'm not sure how far of a shot that is.
Then he can save par. He can still birdie the hole if he hit it on his first shot.
First drive was 712 yards. He hit it with a 2-iron. 3 balls, 1 strike against Nolan Bryant. Josh at second.
Nobody out here.
They just text back and said on his drop, after his drop, the next swing he hit it within a foot of the hole. So he'll bounce back off that one without being too scathed.
So he'll be -4.
Yeah, poor guy. They said he was giving some of the Tiger fist pumps, so they said he'd feel like he's starting to feel it a little bit maybe. We'll see how that shakes down.
Well, you need to feel it on Sunday.
Yeah.
that's when you feel it.
I might have to watch it then. I like watching the final rounds of it. Ball hit up the middle. Ball shortstop. Throws across the diamond. Umpire calls him safe. Little bang-bang play there. Going our way. Not going to argue it, but I'm not too sure of a question about positioning on that particular play there.
I think I'll give him a hit on that one.
Now batting number 24, Ethan Sewell.
I think he deserves a hit.
I'm not so sure he wasn't out, though. Based upon, I'm not sure the umpire was in the position that he was in. The coaching staff from the other team could have asked for help, but opted not to, so that must not have been close enough for them. Ball outside corner. Excuse me. Ball pitched to the outside corner for a strike, which would be a 0-1.
With runners at first and second and nobody out.
Yes, sir. Ethan with another RBI opportunity. Ball down in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And with Nobles at second base, and if he gets it into the outfield, he'll have an RBI.
If he draws grass, Josh definitely can score. Nolan may rumble into second and hang tight there, but we'll see. Ethan hits one down the line. It is fair into the corner.
Oh, yeah.
1 run will score.
I think
Here comes Nolan.
Nolan
Nolan rounds the bag. He'll score with the throw, but he's in standing. As Ethan's in with a stand-up double. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ball game due to the mercy rule, 13-3 at the bottom of the 5th. So
that'll do it.
As Ethan Sewell with a walk-off double ends the ball game because of the mercy rule, the final score here at Landmark is going to be 13-3, the War Eagles. Once again, we play tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Against Padilla.
Against Padilla School.
Right here
at War Eagle Stadium. If you did have an opportunity to watch us the whole game today, we appreciate you chiming in with us. In the event that you can watch tomorrow, once again, first pitch is set for 1 o'clock. So make sure that you're tuned in then. Text us tomorrow. Notify your friends about the ball game. So give you an opportunity in case you can't be here for the game. So We play at 1 o'clock tomorrow once again for the Padilla, against the Padilla School. So
Padilla Pythons, I think it is.
For Chaffin Young, the guru of electronics that sets this thing up and makes it roll. And for Derek Nobles, this is Mike McKinney. Once again, I'm telling you, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys being with us. We guys hope you have a great evening. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks, and God bless.